everybody, and welcome to Atlanta and Company. I'm Christine Pilara, so happy you're with me on this Thursday morning. So how would you like to take your family on a magical journey where you can all wear these hats and knights on horses battle it out in jousting tournaments for the chance to be a king's champion? And I might add, there's going to be a savory feast. It's all happening at Medieval Times Dinner and Tournament, and here to tell us more about it is the Director of Stunt Choreography, Tim Baker. Good morning.
Good morning, Christine.
Thank you for giving me my crown.
You're very welcome.
This is such an interesting concept, and for anybody out there who's just not familiar with medieval times, tell us what it is.
It is a reenactment of an actual jousting tournament that took place in the 11th century Spain. 6 knights competing against each other until there's one victor.
Wow, and so tell me about, because the background did come from Spain, tell us about the history.
Well, the 6 knights represented are from 6 actual kingdoms in Spain, and they're all represented by a color. You're in the blue section.
I'm on
That's
your
my
team.
section.
Blue. Go blue.
And then there are 5 other colors, and the opposing section. So there's lots of rivalry and competition. There's medieval games. There's exhibitions of equestrian. We have some of the finest Andalusian stallions on the planet, which
Really?
The first 1/3 of the show is represented in a demonstration of our horsemanship. And then there's medieval games in between. And then the final third of the show is the actual jousting, full contact jousting, falls. We use 12 different weapons. They're all real.
I see some right
There's
here.
no tricks.
I want to
These are
pick
the
them
actual
up.
weapons from the show.
Although my husband gets nervous when I'm around steak knives that are sharp.
That's
Wow.
a 2-handed axe to be used on foot. That weighs about
crazy.
8 pounds.
Yeah, it is.
A real knight's axe would be made out of carbon steel. That's actually kind of a high-tech material we use.
On guard.
It's
No,
titanium. And that's this is a 2-handed weapon on foot. It's called a mandoble in Spanish, which means 2 hands. And these are some of the weapons from the show. And the end of the show finishes with 1 knight, 1 section emerging victorious.
Unbelievable. So we were talking before in the commercial break that you have your armor, you have everything right now on you that you wear because you could potentially get hurt. Have you ever gotten hurt?
Well, anytime you work with horses, that's the one variable you can't truly control all the time.
Right.
He weighs about 1,200 pounds. He has a mind of his own. They are highly trained.
Of course.
Other than that, when you look at these weapons, you would think of the accidents that might come from them, but there's very few. Our safety equipment, our training, and our actually arena surface is our greatest safety devices, and we have a lot of specialized equipment. When you look at this armor, you can't really see what's going on. It looks like knight armor. You see the articulating plates, but underneath there's some pretty high-tech street bike body armor that protects us from impacts, and I can kick another knight and he can kick me and hit me with the weapons and it doesn't hurt me. So we can really push the limitations of our stunts, but
you can put on a great
I can also move very quickly.
Yeah, that's good. Unlike the knights back in the day, right?
They
with all of
fast.
They could not. And I imagine that back then it probably would not be as fun because if there was any kind of injuries, as you said, you would not want to live back in those times because the medicine,
the lack of medical, antibiotics and stitches, keeping things clean, that would be the one variable that was a big difference from now. I mean,
of course.
Just with the injuries that I've sustained myself personally over the years.
Right, but otherwise, you think it would be fun to live back then, huh?
Yes, it would.
Yeah.
I could see myself doing that. We're running a Mother's Day special starting tonight until Sunday. Take care of all of our lovely mothers.
Of course.
You can find out more information at 888-WE-JOUST or medievaltimes.com, and I believe that's running. It starts tonight and runs until Sunday.
Incredible. So look at all that you get. I mean, they get in free with the purchase of a full paid adult, the royal treatment, free flower. That's incredible. They get to see your great show.
Take care of Mom.
Yes, you do. And I had a question about the horses too. I mean, how they're so gorgeous and obviously amazing specimens. How long does it take to train them?
I've been a knight I walked in when I was 19. I've been there 25 years, and that's what keeps me there. I get to ride these magnificent animals. We breed our own Andalusians in Texas on a 250-acre ranch. Depending on what they do, they all have very specialized skills, but from the day they're born, they're being handled and taught to trust us and accept us. And so, but to get them to where you could ride them, they would be about 3.5 years old. To make what is a fully trained dressage or high school horse from the age of about 3.5 to say 5.5, if they were worked with every day or 6 days a week and a day of rest, it would take about 2 years.
Incredible.
Yeah, but the combat horse, we have so many different types of horses and probably not enough time to go into all that, but every single horse in the show has a very specialized job, and they work for a few minutes, and they receive the best of care at our castle, and we all love, I mean, it's interesting to see these relationships that these my knights build with their horses, you know, when they, after the show, these big manly men, you see them hugging on their horses and slipping them stuff and giving them a kiss and stuff. So
now, what about the horse lovers out there? Can they actually touch the horses and see them after the show?
We're doing a stable tour for the first time.
Oh, good.
And we've got it up and running here. We get a lot of attention and a lot of questions about the horses. But again, the stable environment, you know, we've got it to where it's safe. It's part of the package, and you can also find out when you go to the website medievaltimes.com or dial 888-WE-JOUST. But there's a tour after the show. There's some information segment when you sit in the arena after the show, and you get to go into the stables, see how they live, you know, how they get bathed. There's a lot of responsibility in having a horse. It's not just, you know, buy a horse and ride the horse. They have to be bathed and fed and shod and medical and washed every day, and then there's the interaction. So you get to a big behind the scenes. For all the show that you see in the arena, there's another show that takes place backstage of an orchestration of men and horses and costume changes, like any Broadway production or big production, except, you know, you've got 25 horses and 25 men also changing clothes and changing costumes and getting ready for the next act. So
and where does all this happen? Where's the location?
The location here in Lawrenceville is right off 85, and it is in the Discover Mills property.
Okay, terrific. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Northeast of town.
Northeast of town. And of course, the number and the website. Look at my crown. I don't look nearly as cool as he does. The number and the information is right there on your screen. But thank you so much for being here.
You're very
welcome, appreciate it. It is such a great idea, something so fun to do and different for the whole family this weekend, and for Mom.
Come to the show.
She will get the royal treatment, maybe even wear her own little crown. Thanks again, Sir Timothy. And if you would like some more information about Medieval Times, just give them a call at 888-WE-JOUST. That's 888-935-6878. Or visit them online at medievaltimes.com. And this segment was paid for by the Atlanta Convention and Visitors Bureau. And there's still much more to come on Atlanta & Company. Listen up, pet